Hello, everybody. Hey now, what's going on, people? Welcome to the Her Hoop Stats podcast. I am Christy Winters Scott, joined by my girl, Helen Williams. Welcome to the show, baby. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Hello. Hello. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, we are right on the precipice of starting the 30th anniversary season in the WNBA. I am thrilled that the season not only is about to begin, but because it's 30 years. 30 years in. It's been an amazing journey from day one to the upcoming season. First of all, let's start with your most favorite WNBA memory, and then we're going to give the fans of our podcast here and of Women's Hoops and of the WNBA, we're going to give them our list of top 30 players, and it's so tough. There's so many players that are going to be on the cutting room floor, but it's not a begrudging of their skill set or who they are as people, just because there's been so many. But we have some that we're going to share with you later. But Helen, my dear friend, tell us maybe one or two. You don't have to pick one because I know that's tough. Maybe your
Yeah.
top highlights over the course of this journey of the W.
Recency bias. Asia Wilson hitting that shot last year, and then me mugging everybody. It's one of my favorites. And then I know this is cheesy, but the first game between the very first game between New York and LA, and and then when Lisa Leslie dunked. So something from back in the day, and then something more recent. There's too many, but
Too
I'll go
many.
with those.
Yeah, I co-sign all those for sure, for sure, for sure. And then you got to throw in teaspoons, half court bomb, right? Like, and then you got to throw in Elena Beard's shot in the playoffs in NECA, and LA won it. And then Candace Parker's tears for Pat Summit and saying this is for Pat. Oh man, I
Yeah.
just got chills. But there have been so many just extraordinary memories throughout the journey of the WNBA, and we just scratched the surface on what it's meant for the league and the shoulders of the players that they're standing on right now. It's really been fun to watch for sure. But oh my gosh, I can
And
think of so
let me
many
just
more.
say
But
this too.
I can think of so many more.
Most favorite memory is the fat checks that the players are going to get now, and the ones who played who are getting those retro checks.
Yeah.
That's a memory.
Yeah, retro checks. We love a retro check. I wish they could go back to college and cut those retro checks too. But I digress. So that's not happening. But anywho, no, I think the fact that Tina Charles just recently retired, and she was one of the main people in the room that fought for those checks to be
Yeah.
cut for the players who played at least, it's my understanding, 5 seasons in the WNBA. And if they have passed, and like Nikki McCrae, I thought of first, right? The money will go to her family and her son. I love that for them. We miss Nick a lot, but especially here in the district, I still see fans wearing Nikki McCrae jerseys. So a lot of love here in the DMV for her. But just because of that too, it's not if you're a player who has passed but played for 5 years, your family still is given the respect of the sacrifice. Oh man, don't get me started on that. But that's amazing. And just Tina Charles just recently retiring. We can just touch on that really quickly before we go into our list. What's your take on TC? I call her too cold, but TC, what do you think about her retirement announcement yesterday?
Just sustained excellence. Like, it's really hard to be excellent on a
Yeah.
consistent basis for a really long time, because as you get older, and players who have retired have said this, the older you get, the harder it is to stay motivated, to stay in shape, to stay injury free, to have that dog mindset, because you're feeding your family and some young whippersnapper comes and they're quicker, stronger, and having to adapt your game as you get older so that you're still effective.
Yeah, no question about it. And I just appreciate Tina Charles, when she was here in DC, she led the WNBA in scoring during her tenure in a Mystics uniform. I just thought she was really fun to watch. She got the three ball going the latter part of her career there. And to your point, be mixing it up in the trenches with those young dogs down in the paint, man. But she still did that very well. But she also, to your point, added to her game as her career evolved. And you just love to see that, she was able to leave the game with, gold medals, but the things that she did off the court as well, I think were incredibly
Yep.
impactful. Hopi's Heart, her foundation that she started for her aunt who had heart difficulties, and to have defibrillators, placed in a lot of the schools in New York City and other places as well. But I mean, she just impacted so much more than basketball. And again, reaching back to give credit to the former players in the WNBA. So she reached forward and reached back. And that's the beauty of Tina Charles. And I just really appreciate being able to call some of her amazing shots. I mean, it's that fader, man. You just couldn't get to it. She leaned back and I'm like, no way, bam. I'm like, what? Like she just had the degree of difficulty with her mechanics on her shot, but it was that lethal fadeaway for me, man. It was just so
Yep.
feathery and filthy, Helen.
Yeah. I mean, she was fun to watch. You were always going to get a complete game from her, right? And she always respected the game, and she was just a great vet to the rookies, always willing to share her knowledge and her wisdom.
Yeah. I mean, still to this day, I mean, she's going to continue to pour into the game. And I don't know what the next step for her will be to impact the game, but whatever it is, whether it's in the community, whether it's coaching or GM ownership, whatever it is, I'm sure she's going to be a winner because she was a winner everywhere else in life. So I'm excited to see the next steps for Tina Charles. So congrats to Tina Charles. Shake a hand, take a hat off, and tap the heart, man, because she just played with heart all the time, on and off the floor. So congrats to Tina Charles for a really great and exciting career. But with that, I mean, there's so many players over the 30 years, Helen, that have and are continuing to have an extraordinary professional run. Choosing 30, not easy. We said we are going to
Yeah.
go 15 and 15 out here. Lord Jesus. I said do rock, paper, scissors to go first, but we're not going to do it. So I have my handful. I have my handful. Let's see if I can rattle them off from memory. I don't have any papers in front of me or anything because all my stuff is in my phone, which I am using. So I'm going to do my best to recall them all. BMAC has my list. So BMAC, let me know if I miss anybody on my wonderful little 15-player list there. So I'm going to start things off. You want to alternate? We go one and one. You want to do it like that?
Let's do
Okay.
that.
All right. I have Diana Taurasi.
Oh, dang, that was my first one too. She is my all-time favorite player. All right, I'm gonna go Maya Moore.
Oh, she is on my list, so I have to maybe move her off mine, but definitely on my list there. My next one is Candace Parker.
I'm gonna go another Tennessee player, Tamika Catchings.
Oh, Catch was on mine. She was next, and Maya. So I'm down to I'm on my list. Okay, Sue Bird.
Cheryl Swoops.
Dang. Okay. I gotta take her off my list, man. You cut my list down to 12. I'm already down to 12 right there. Golly, Helen, taking all my names off. Okay, let's go. Oh my gosh, see, I'm going down my list because you took those. Let's see. Lisa Leslie.
It can be a combination. It doesn't have to be 30 total. It's a combination.
Okay, Lisa Leslie. Boom.
Okay, that was mine. Cynthia Cooper.
Oh, okay.
Raise the Roof.
Raise the roof, baby. Yeah. Okay, I got her. Okay. Let's go. Asia Wilson. Four-time MVP.
Okay. I'm gonna go Elena Deladon. The sweetest jump shot form ever.
The bouncy wrist. I had EDD on mine. EDD I had you on my list. Helen took you off my list, but you were on my list. EDD. No shade to EDD. She knows it. Okay. Let's see. The Candace Parker. Okay. Lisa Leslie. We got Sue Bird. I'm a mental notes. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. We have Sue Bird. Okay. Come on through. Okay. All right. Tisha Pinachero.
Yes. That's leading in assists. I got Lauren Jackson.
Dang it! I had Lauren on mine. I was trying to get some guards sprinkled in because I felt like I was post heavy. Okay. Yes, Tish. And then now, okay, you had Lauren Jackson, who had 47 points here in DC. I was on that call and it was just mesmerizing to watch her. Insanity. If you don't know about her, Google
You
that.
don't know.
Okay.
Google.
YouTube it. Something. Golly, she was a killer out there. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I got Lauren Jackson off the list. Lord Jesus, I got EDD off the list. A catch off the list. Dang, Helen, it just depleted me. Okay, I'm going down the list. Tina Thompson.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with Sylvia Fowles.
Dang it, man. You just erasing all my stuff, Helen. Yeah, you erasing all my people, man, on the list. Oh my God. BMAC, what else? Who else do I have? She took all of
I'll give you another one. I'm
Okay,
gonna
come
go.
on with
I
it.
got
Come on.
Brianna Stewart, Chelsea Gray.
Oh my God. I had Stewart. Gray, yes, definitely on the list.
How about
Um,
from back in the day,
let's go back.
Yolanda Griffith?
Okay, Grandmama, get in there, Grandmama. Okay, I
And
like it. I'm not mad at
how
it.
about
I'm not
Deanna
mad.
Sweetie Nolan?
Tweety with the high release. How long I want to see somebody clock it with the shot clock. I mean with the stopwatch and see how long she would hang in the air before she released it. I mean, she's up here just waiting for you to fall, contesting is gonna fall, and then now she's gonna shoot it. I'm like, how long is she in the air? Like unbelievable, but I love Tweety. Tweety, hey girl, hey, oh, a restaurant owner right there in Michigan, and just got inducted into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame most recently. I think it was last fall, maybe. But congrats to her for that. But all right, let's keep the train moving. Who else? Who else do I have?
Okay. So, and some
Who
of
else do I
you
have?
folks gonna have to Google this, but I'll just read the
Okay.
rest of my list. I
Okay.
got Cappy Pondexter,
Yeah.
Teaspoon,
Teaspoon.
Katrina McLean,
Dang, girl.
Simone Augustus.
Moni.
I love Kelsey Plum.
Yeah.
Dawn Staley.
Donnie. Yeah. That's
That's the rest
legit.
of my list.
I feel like I'm missing some people. BMAC, who am I missing on the list, man? BMAC, pop in there. Who am I
Well,
missing?
your list never made it my way, so I can't
No!
help you out.
Come on, man. Wait. I said the Wi-Fi. Okay, wait. There's gotta be okay.
There's so many.
We're
There's
back.
just, I mean, we could never, point out all of them. But I mean, those are just the ones
Oh, that's
that came to mind. And social
yeah.
media, please don't add us and say you forgot such and such
Oh,
person because
man,
there's
don't do that.
too many people for us to remember. But we tried to
Yeah.
cover every back in the day and now.
Yeah, it's gotta, I mean, you're covering like decades right here of players. And it's so hard. And I know we probably missed a ton, but I got all 15 that I had were mentioned. So
There you go.
yeah, so I'm happy about that. So I know that there are so many more, and I'm gonna put Vicky Bullet in there because that's my girl, man. I'm gonna put Vicky
Because
Bullet.
she went to Maryland. That's why.
That's right. But she was also in that first game. So right? Yeah, the
I'll
New
give you
York
that
game.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All right,
she
I'm gonna
was a
give her a
she
little.
was a baller. She was a
Yeah, she
baller.
was she was a two-time Olympian. She did her thing, okay, and she cracked my forehead every day at practice in a great way. Made me better. Made me better. But that's my girl, sis for life, VB. But no, I'm so excited for this next iteration of the league, Helen, and with the new players coming through. I mean, and all of the CBAs and the free agency moves. I really love the fact that there's so much more freedom in that for the
Yeah.
players and for the coaches and GMs too. It's like I think it's just refreshing to see it with the developmental roster spots for teams as well, and locking in with 12 on the final roster, which was today, first day of practices for teams. So it's just exciting that it's a new day, but you do have to give credit and respect and reverence to where this league started. And C. Vivian Stringer always said, you can't go forward until you give respect to what came before you, right? So you know where you're going. You can't just say, "Oh,
Yeah.
we're going forward," right? But no, you got to know from whence you've come, right? You got to discuss the roots and the seeds out here, and let people know how this thing has grown so much. But I'm excited for these kids and what they've been able to accomplish. I'm speaking of the players in the last 3-4 years, right? With the opportunities and the game growing leaps and bounds in terms of the television packages and all of the things. Just go for it, and continue to grow it, because then in the next 30 years, people are going to be talking about them, right? In the same way we're talking about, that very first game. Oh, the 30th anniversary. Remember that? And the players that are impacting the game now are going to just continue to swell the waters, if you will, for years to come and generations ahead. So it's just super exciting to think that way, but can't go forward without giving respect to what came before.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give homage to the OGs. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
they set the foundation so that the players today could say some of the things and do some of the things that they are doing.
yeah,
They couldn't do that back in the day, but they
yeah,
just little by little, pushed the game forward, and now you have, these unbelievable valuations of teams: $800 million for the Valkyries. Um, the Vegas team was bought for 2 million. Now it's worth 400 million. I mean, it just goes to show you, if you invest, you'll get a return on that investment if you do the things that you're supposed to do. And this was available a long time ago. It's just that people weren't willing to invest in it. The talent has always been there.
that part. That part, no. I mean, the valuations, it's insane. The numbers are just remarkable, right? And someone had to take the first jump, right? The leap of faith to trust. And we've always known that the product was great and it was deserving, right, of the respect that it's now seeing. But for me, it's just, I mean, that's just opening the door. The door is cracked, right? It's not kicked open yet. I think it's cracked. So I think there's so much more that can be done. And that too is thrilling to think about, right? To know that, okay, the door's not kicked open. We're not finished right now because of where the game has grown to. This is just the beginning of what the game could be, right? For the next generations of hoopers out here. So I'm excited for the middle school kids who are seeing this respect being granted and earned. And then it's just going to make them work that much harder. So it's just going to be that much better moving forward. So it's exciting times for sure, fun times for sure. But with that being said, with the season about to begin, what games do you have circled on your calendar, Helen? And who are you most excited to see on the court this year?
So I took a little bit different approach this year, because I'm not calling any WNBA games. Although ESPN, Ion, Prime, if you need somebody, just call your girl. I'll
Let's
be ready
go.
to go on a day's notice. But I said, this since I'm not calling games, I'm not going to watch any games until the first night. But what I will do is listen, read, learn. I took in a ton of information
Right.
so that on the first day I have an idea, but I didn't want to watch anything until I knew that the rosters were set, they've had practice, and like these
Right.
things count. Now, obviously, if I were calling the games, I would have been watching the preseason games, but I just wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah,
take
yeah.
a different approach. So
Right.
I I mean, I think for me, well, there's a couple teams I'm real interested in Chicago. They have an
Same.
AARP backcourt, like American Association for Retired Persons backcourt. They are in their 30s. I'm real interested
Yeah.
in if and how long it's going to take before Skylar Diggins is not happy. I'm
Please.
interested in. I mean, they signed my second favorite player, Tasha Cloud, which is
Gosh,
awesome.
I love
But
her.
for them, like who who is going to be the focus of the offense? What system are you running? And
Okay.
I feel like they were just. I feel like they put this team together because people are trying to save their jobs. They're like, this is it. This 1 year, like we got to do something, or else we're all not going to be here. So I'm not really sure what they're going to look like. I'm not. I know they have toughness because Diggins, Carrington,
Great.
Cloud, and
Yeah, we're not concerned with that.
don't ever piss off Rachel Banham. You know, they're tough. Like that's
Fair.
not going to be an issue for them. But like,
No.
what is that offense going to look like? Who is the go-to person going to be? So from that respect, I'm looking at the Valkyries. No one understands anything that they've done. And we all might look like idiots because we can't see the vision right now. Everybody keeps talking about the trade and everything, but no one
Right.
understood what they were doing last year either. And they made the playoffs and did really well. So those two, I think, are front of mind for me in terms of what are they going to look like.
Right. And to your point, the Valkyries with Suarez, who they drafted, right? And traded for, right? With Flauget, and sending her
And
to
a second round
Seattle.
pick.
Would you say?
I said, and a second round pick. So
Right. Right. That was, I mean, sometimes it just has to fit. And again, it's not, a demotion. I know she was released from the team, but I think she's going to land somewhere just like
oh
Tosh
yeah,
Cloud.
no
I was
question, no
concerned
question.
about Tosh. Right. She's definitely going to land somewhere, but sometimes you just don't fit schematically into what's happening on the floor, but there, right? But in the league, I think she can serve the league well on another team. So
Yeah,
we'll
I
see what
think
that
it,
looks
it
like.
was just the thing is like how it was handled, and this has been talked about ad nauseum. So I'm not gonna revisit
No,
any of that. But
right.
if Flauget turns out to be ridiculously good, which she has the potential to be, then everybody's going to look back at this and go, "What were you doing?"
Yeah.
In terms of talent, in terms of with her music career, she would have been perfect in the Bay Area. In terms of marketing and things like that. So none of us are sitting in that chair. We're not privy to all the information, for the general manager. So I'm not judging. I'm just
Well, no.
wondering.
Same. And for me, I'm just thinking it had to have been something, puzzle piece wise in terms of how they wanted to create the structure and what you were alluding to about Chicago. Like what are we running? Like, how are we going to do this? And maybe she just didn't fit into that flow and cadence of offense that they wanted or defense or whatever. But going back to what you said about Chicago, I do have a question to you about Skylar Diggins. You said you're waiting to see what upsets her. What do you think would upset her there? What do you think would upset her?
Skylar,
Because she's
she
going to
just
stand on it.
she freaking wants to win. Like that's
That's
her
what I'm saying.
thing. She
I'm
freaking
not in
wants
that.
to win. And
Absolutely.
if the pieces don't come together, she is not afraid to say, this ain't working. She's not afraid to say that. And I really admire that about her. And if the other people don't come along with her in terms of her work ethic and things like that, which I personally don't think that would be an issue with Cloud and and all the rest of them, Carrington. But I don't know. Like who is she playing point guard? Is Sloot playing point guard? Like who's going to be the go-to on offense? What kind of system? And she's very smart, has a very high basketball IQ, and if it ain't working, she ain't afraid to say it. So that to me will be interesting because you obviously didn't have much time to put this group together, and it's going to take a minute for them to gel and to figure things out. So the coach is on the hot seat too in terms of we brought these people here. We brought people here. Did you bring them there with context? Or did you bring them there because they're talented individually talent? And how are you going to mesh them? You had Haley Van Lith, you protected her, then you let her go. So what are you doing? Again, not judging, just wondering.
Wondering. See, we need to put that on a T-shirt. Not judging, just wondering. Like we're just trying to figure it out. No, I love that. But I understand, and yeah, I mean they're all competitors, or they wouldn't be in the league. Number one, but Skylar Diggins, right? She knows exactly how it's supposed to look, feel, all of it. So I definitely respect that as well. But I think for me, just outside in on paper, I don't know what their practices have looked like. I haven't been in there. I did see their preseason game, but all the pieces weren't on the floor at that time. Cloud obviously wasn't there either. But for me, I would say this team is going to be full of pace because they have a ton of initiators. All the players that they have, like their starting five, I think they can all get it and go, right? Maybe the starting
Yeah.
four, starting four. But Camilla, I don't, she can get it and then get it to somebody, and the rest of the four can go. I get
And
it,
you better,
but and that's not. I
if
mean,
she
that's
runs, pipe to pipe, you better give that big girl a ball.
give it a ball, man. But I think they have pace ability, right? The Chicago team, I think they're going to be able to get it, push ahead passes. If Camilla gets a rebound or a block or something like that, get it to anybody else, and they're gone. I think that's going to be what they're going to look like stylistically, and
Okay.
I don't think they need like one specific player to be the one. I think the team is the one, right? I always think that anyway. I always say the game is the star, the team is the star, and you just play your role and star in your role for the team. But I think for Chicago, I think that's what it's going to look like. I think they're going to get it and go because all of them can put it on the deck and make plays. So I think that's more dangerous, not to have specificity with positions, because I think all of them can be initiators. All of them can push pace. All of them can get a bucket, but they can create buckets for the team. And I think that's the scary part for the Chicago Sky.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I totally don't disagree with that. I'm just looking at what happens when you have to run it in half court.
Ah,
What is that going to look like? What is
mhm.
the emphasis going to be? Is it
Yeah,
Camila Cardosa?
yeah,
Uh, or, what's your style?
yeah.
How are you going to adapt? Because literally, Tasha Cloud
That's
just
facts.
signed like on Monday, or was
Yeah,
it? You know what I'm saying? Like she
over
literally
the
just
weekend.
signed. So
Yeah,
you're having all these practices with these people, and then you're getting rid of people and you're bringing people in. Like, and that's just the nature of the beast in terms of this season. So I'm not saying that they can't do it because they're just too talented not to be. But what
right.
is the system going to be in half court when they do have to play?
Yeah.
And how are you going to execute in that setting?
No,
Like, what are your
that's
emphasis?
facts. In a real time, you said.
I said it just in terms of like, what's your emphasis
Hmm. No,
in that?
that's facts. That's facts, and I definitely respect that because yeah, I mean it's not going to all be transition opportunities, right?
It'd be great
Um,
if it was.
it would be great. That would be fun. Everyone wants to play fast, but at the same time, in that same vein, if there's a go-to situation, down one, running a sideline out of bounds, who gets that? Like, eh, I feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that because everybody's gonna be like, "Give it to me." I'd say, "Give it to me," or I would, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would say that. I would say, "Let me get you a nice screen," right? I don't know because I wasn't gonna be a passer anyway. I'm just digressing. But but really though, in clutch moments, like who's gonna be that player? And I think your quarter court organization. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch for Chicago, but also go-to moments, like who's going to be that go-to player for them. I mean, they have a lot of table setters, and I don't know why I keep thinking it could be
Yeah.
Rakia. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean,
I
and you never
just
throw
keep
Skylar Diggins out of the picture because she would love
oh
to have the
no,
ball in her hand with no time left. So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, and it obviously it's situational depending on what's going on in the game too.
Yeah, but I'm totally like, Sky could be like a decoy because she could shoot it and make plays to get straight to the cup because she led the league in free throw attempts a couple seasons ago. So I know that. But Cloud can get a piece of the paint and spray it to Rakia, and Rakia can fire that sucker, get to the midi, or get to the
Yeah.
cup. So I'm like, like I don't
That's
know,
what I'm
and she
saying.
has size.
There's a lot of
She has
individual talent
size.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
how is it gonna mesh as a team? Like that, and that's the
yeah.
coach's job. That's the coaching style. That's your job.
Yeah, which is why I'm marinating and going through these mental gymnastics of all the possibilities of that because I can't take the coaching hat off for nothing. But no, I think it's going to be really intriguing to see. And I wouldn't be mad if any of them took the last shot. to be honest. Like I'm good with all of them taking it, but something about Rakia, and just seeing how effortless she makes plays. I think that's going to be fun to watch to see who they go to in moments like that. But I'm not mad. Whoever they choose, I'm good. Like I'm not mad at whoever they choose. Oh, I think
Yeah,
that'll be
yeah.
fun. But
Better
yeah,
have too many than not enough.
there you go. No, that's right. Period. Helen, you got bars today. You got bars today. I love that. I love that. I know you got a heart out. I don't know what time it. How much are we doing
We're good
our
for another
time?
5 minutes. We're good for another 5 minutes.
I knew we were getting close. I knew we were getting close. But I guess any parting words for the WNBA fans? I know you had some ideas about the Valkyries and Chicago. We did our top 30. Gave some kudos to Tina Charles. But any parting shots for the week for the W fans as the season starts?
Yeah, just I mean, look at the new kids on the block, like the ones that people aren't really talking about. You look at the second round, you look at Tanaya Ladson, she's going to have an impact. You look at Laura Siegler for LA, she's
Yep.
kind of reminds me of Sarah Ashley Barker, somebody just picking her
Oh,
up from last year and being able
yeah.
to contribute. And
Good call.
I mean, you look at Atlanta, just loads of talent. Are they tough enough to get past the round, and how mature? What's the next step for the Mystics? Like that's a big thing for me because there's a lot of talent there, and they keeping Shakira Austin was huge for them.
Major.
And then Georgia Amor's coming back, so I just
Yeah.
Vegas is Vegas. They just need to, do what they need to do. The bench needs to be able to give those, the core some rest. They need
Yeah.
to be productive. Then you look at
Yeah.
New York. New York is New York. Can they stay healthy?
Yeah.
The same things for both those teams. So I just think, watch it. Find, they're on so many different networks. Just might need to be a little bit patient, but don't get too frustrated. Just stick with it and
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to your point, Kennedy Carter in Vegas, I'm thrilled for her. We'll
Woo!
see what that
Yes.
looks like.
Cannot
Hollywood,
wait.
with
Woo-hoo.
Chelsea Gray. Oh my God, and Asia Wilson. Oh my God, slow down. I can't. So yeah, there's a lot going on there in a great way. Becky Hammond, I know she's excited to put that in the oven, see what comes out. Because God, man, that's fun. But New York, Wasatu Sabli, I want to see what that looks like too. A lot of good
Again,
moves.
healthy. Can you be healthy?
Healthy for sure. For sure. Well, I know the Mystics, they have a young squad, the youngest team in the league, just under 25
Still this
years
year, still
old.
the youngest one.
Still.
Wow.
Yeah, it was by a couple tenths of
Wow.
a point there. We
Okay.
had it up there. I think it was 24.6 is the average age for the Washington Mystics. So with the final roster being set, I think that's exactly where it stands. But
We're
I have
seeing
to
them
double
play
check it.
against Chicago, so the youngest against the AARP. That's gonna be.
See, there you go. They're going AARP, man. But they're out there killing. Listen, they're out there hooping.
Hey,
Hey,
they're
man.
balling.
They're
I'm
out
saying
there
they're not
sweating.
falling.
They're out there putting coats on it. Yeah, they're doing it. But no, that's gonna be fun. I think, sometimes you think of the youth, but you forget that they're winners, right? They know how to win.
Yeah.
They've won in so many different ways in college, and now they're all together. So I think there's a lot to be said for that. They don't have the experience in years, but they do have experience in winning. So a lot of players who are
Yep.
older may not have the same experience in winning. So I think you have
Right.
to realize that too about the Mystics and their age differences that they will have on the floor. But it'll be fun to see what Sydney Johnson comes up with. But I can't wait for the games to start. The Mystics are in Toronto on Friday, and that's going to be on Ion, so that's an easy find in Toronto. First international game in the WNBA regular
Yeah,
season.
and
So
pay the $40 for the WNBA. Don't be cheap. I know they keep
yeah,
raising the price, but it's still in the grand scheme of things, just pay the $40.
it's worth it. It's worth it. I mean, I'm on there. You can put all the things on your TV. You can stream it on TV at the same time, so you don't have to have your devices all the time. But picture in picture, you can do all that stuff and see like 4 games at a time and put it on your TV. It's awesome. But I just can't wait. But I'm so thrilled for every single player in the WNBA, every single coach, and every single fan because it's time. to get this thing going, and I can't wait. But it thrills me. I'm so excited, just genuinely excited that the game is serving the game right now. I mean, the game is serving the game, and that means that next generation of players, they're learning and growing from this summer season in the WNBA. So for me, that's everything. That's every single thing. So that's why I can't stop smiling today, because we're right in the front of the season starting. So I'm just thrilled for the moment. For everyone involved. So, with that being said, Miss Helen, I know you got to get out of here, baby. But we don't have to go home. We got to get up out of here. Be Mac, producer extraordinaire. We appreciate you, honey, for everything. Christy Winter Scott, for Helen Williams. We will see you right back here on the Her Hoop Stats Podcast Network next time. Peace and love.